Hi everyone, this is episode 23 of Primetime Wrestling UK, and got Chris and Samantha with me today. Might want to lift your head a bit, Chris, I can barely see you there. There you go. Oh, he's gone again. Right, yeah, go on. Right, today we're going to talk about the year that's been in WWE in 2013, and we're also going to talk about our highlights of the year. Plus, first I'm going to do where, on my Facebook I did where it was my version of the Slammy Awards, because I thought the WE's version was fix. It was not realistic. So, Samantha, do you want to take it away?
Okay, Superstar of the Year, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, which was quite unanimous. I don't think anyone said anyone else, to be honest. I think it was everyone said Daniel. So it was next one.
Diva of the Year, AJ.
Yeah, which AJ obviously should have been Diva of the Year in the first place. No, and as much as I love the Bellas, it should never have been them. And that was quite unanimous. But apart from a couple, I think Nicole said Natalia, and I think Chris Morris said Brie. But yeah, that was pretty unanimous. It was AJ Lee. Next one.
Tag Team, Reigns and Rollins.
Yeah, that was unanimous as well. That Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, Tag Team of the Year. There was nothing really massive else to compete with them apart from Cody and Goldust and Primetime players, but obviously it had to be them two. What's the next one?
OMG.
OMG.
Moment. Ziggler cashing in.
Yeah, OMG moment, Dolph Ziggler cashing in, which again was fairly unanimous. It was the majority, I think literally everyone did. There was only about 3 people that didn't say that one, which obviously for most people that was the OMG moment of the year, which it didn't actually get it on WWE on Raw, which was a load of rubbish. They get a Big Show knocking out Triple H, which was just a fix. Everyone knows who the crowds really went for. Well, what's the next one?
Crowd of the Year, New Jersey.
Crowd of the Year, New Jersey, which, yeah, that was, I think that was the only one everyone else voted for, because really there wasn't, apart from our one in UK, there was no crowds really that could get anywhere near that. Next one.
Overrated, which was a tie between Ryback and Del Rio.
Yeah, Ryback, in case you didn't hear that, Chris, it was Ryback and Del Rio overrated, which I said Del Rio overrated, and I know a lot of people said Ryback. It was only someone towards the end said Del Rio, which otherwise it would have been Ryback. But yeah, Ryback should have been better than what he was, but he's going downhill fast. And Del Rio, I'm just not. I liked him at first, but I just got bored with him now. I just can't get into him anymore. I got on board with him now. Anyway, what was the next one?
Underrated, which was Tyson Kidd.
Underrated Tyson Kidd, which, yeah, that was one I said, and it's a shame because he's one of the best wrestlers there, but they just don't use him properly. I just think he needs a manager, and he'd be okay if they just take the risk on him and give him the chance. He might actually do something. Next one.
Worst Superstar, unanimously, the Great Khali.
Yeah, you'll be happy with that one. Every single person said Great Khali.
It was a vote of 12-1.
Yeah, 12 people.
It was Brodus Clay, which was the one different vote.
That was Michael, I think, said Brodus Clay. It was like, yeah, it was like everyone else said Clay. It was so funny because I was like, one. It was just constantly the same line. What's next?
Worst Diva, Ava Marie.
Yeah, that was that was between Ava, Xana, and Cameron. Yeah, I said Cameron as well. A couple of people said Xana, but in the majority, people did say Ava Marie.
Because she's useless.
Well, if you don't train someone, they will be, wouldn't they? It's like putting me in the ring. I wouldn't know what a Scooby-Doo or what I'm doing, would I?
Someone kind of pointed out the fact that all she did in that match with the Divas was blow kiss to the crowd.
Oh, what, on Raw? Yeah, she was tag team was like giving it the attitude to the Divas, all that. Yeah, and then she got knocked out. Yeah, what's the next one?
Match of the Year, Rhodes versus Shield.
Yeah, Match of the Year, Rhodes versus Shield. It was predominantly between that and CM Punk against Undertaker from WrestleMania, and it only won by 1 vote, I think.
Yeah.
And that was like down to the last 1 or 2 people. Next one.
Worst match, Ryback versus Henry.
Yeah.
Which I voted.
That was Ryback versus Mark Henry from WrestleMania this last year. Now it is voted as worst match of the year. Which it was. The only thing I was looking forward to in that match was Ryback hitting his finisher on Mark Henry.
Yeah, same here. I think I said Del Rio versus Cena.
Yeah, that was that nearly got it, but I was just behind in the end by one vote. But yeah, because Cena Del Rio from Survivor Series was so predictable. But yeah, the only interesting thing about the Ryback Henry match was the way everyone was waiting for Ryback to do his move on him. Next.
Best newcomer, the Wyatts.
Yeah, that was best newcomers, the Wyatts. That was
quite unanimous.
Quite unanimous. I'm trying to remember who else
it was. only out of them
Xavier
Woods.
Yeah, there was Xavier.
Oh, Big E.
Big E was just behind.
And
then
Axel.
there was Xavier Woods. Then
Curtis Axel.
Big E was second. It was the Wyatt family that got the vote, but it was Big E was second. Then you had Xavier Woods.
And then Axel.
Then you had Curtis Axel, and
That's it.
I don't know what that bottom one is because I can't read my writing. But yeah, it was basically Wyatt family. Was anything else?
Best announcer is JBL.
Yeah, best announcer JBL, which was unanimous. That was I think everyone said JBL. I think one said Josh Matthews, but apart from that, yeah, it was unanimous.
That's it.
Yeah, that's my version of Slammy Awards, which is a more realistic one because what WE did was just to benefit their storylines. But now we're going to talk about basically the year that was 2013. Only small bit, not everything obviously, because we'd be here all day. But basically we started off with the Royal Rumble. CM Punk finally lost the world title to The Rock after having it for over a year, wasn't it?
400 days.
Yeah, 400 odd days, whatever that is in months. But yeah, it was over a year, and basically John Cena did win the Royal Rumble, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah, he did,
Yeah, which basically led to the rematch of John Cena versus The Rock, which I knew they were going to do after the last one. Because even though they said it's once in a lifetime, I knew they were going to do that. Then basically on to WrestleMania, where John Cena beat The Rock, which, no, expected to, but I think a lot of people are expecting something bigger than a simple 1, 2, 3. Although a lot of people were hoping for the Shield, and I know you thought the Shield. This was a funny moment, right? John Cena, The Rock. It's a quiet moment, and these people to the right of us, further down, stand up. And Chris is like, "There's a Shield over there, there's a Shield." I'm like, no, Chris, someone's just collapsed over there. That's not the Shield. Someone's just had a fit or something in the corner, and he thinks it's the Shield coming out.
They said someone's having a seizure.
Yeah, someone's having a yeah, I can't even seizure. I can't even say the word.
That's it.
Yeah, and you thought it was a Shield. You got me looking over it, and it's like, no, someone's collapsed, mate. But yeah, a lot of people were expecting something big out of that, which never happened. It was just a simple Cena one. A lot of people slated, well, some people slated WrestleMania. I know Joel from Wrestle Talk for One, when I was talking to him on Twitter afterwards, was saying it was one of the worst, but to me it wasn't. I think it's one of those where you had to be there to be into it. But I don't think it was one of the worst. Just some good matches. You had Undertaker against CM Punk. You know, there was other matches. Well, obviously Ryback wasn't a great match. You had
Ziggler and Big E.
Ziggler and Big E against Daniel and Kane. Obviously, it wasn't the best WrestleMania I've ever been to, because that was WrestleMania 17, but it wasn't one of the worst. And I've seen worse in WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 8 and 9, things like that, you know. So, Suji, so they weren't as bad as people made it out to be. It wasn't great, but it was a decent show.
I think they made it about the worst scene, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, I thought Brock Lesnar Triple H match was a good match.
I was more interested in just watching up to like Undertaker and
Yeah.
Punk match.
Obviously, it was disappointing, no Divas match again.
I got cut last minute.
Yeah, but it wasn't even a
Total
Divas. That was a
Divas.
mixed tag. That wasn't even a
Yeah.
Divas match. Just frustrating, but yeah. Then basically, CM Punk had he certainly can't complain about the matches he's had, the feuds he's had this year. So he started off with The Rock. then moved on to The Undertaker. Then he moved on to, which led to SummerSlam. We had Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam because of basically Paul Heyman turned on him at Money in the Bank. Which Money in the Bank was Damien Sandow was a SmackDown champion, which we was all surprised at. Who won the Raw one?
Cena, wasn't it?
Oh, that's of course, yeah, because he was he this year?
No, it was
No, that was the year
Randy.
before. It was Randy, yeah. Yeah, of
Oh
course,
my God,
because,
did
yeah.
you not remember your
Yeah.
reactions?
Yeah, of course, yeah, because Randy went on to cash it in at SummerSlam, didn't he?
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's the year before John
Oh,
Cena. Yeah, before that you had also, obviously, the Raw after WrestleMania was probably better than the WrestleMania itself. Largely because of the crowd, because the crowd was quite dead at WrestleMania, I think, because it was so cold. They're more worried about keeping their hands warm than anything else. We had,
British
obviously...
fans.
Yeah, the British fans made the Raw after WrestleMania. I don't care what anyone says. Not Australia's or like one guy tried to say. But yeah, obviously what started it off was Wade Barrett winning the IC title, which got the crowd going.
What even Wade said about it, the British fans
Yeah.
getting mixed.
Yeah, was the British fans. But yeah, then you had a really bad match between Randy Orton and Sheamus, which got the crowd singing away. Then you had the best moment of the night, Dolph Ziggler cashing in and winning the world title. And then you had the whole start of the Fandango in, which was great fun. It was definitely the best Raw I've been to. But yeah, that was what happened. A lot happened on that Raw. We also had the Shield coming after Undertaker, which was quite cool. But then you had, when they came over on the tour, Shield taking out Undertaker, which again was quite a cool moment to remember. Yeah, basically moving on to SummerSlam, you had Daniel Bryan against John Cena, which you had basically Triple H's heel turn with Randy Orton as well. Triple H pedigree and Daniel after Daniel beats Cena. Then Randy comes in, cashes in, and becomes the new face of the company. And basically Triple H and Stephanie take over. And you had the title change hands a few times between Randy and Daniel in some ridiculous annoying endings, I think, with the Big Show. But basically it was another year for Big Show where it was a bounce from heel to face and the usual boring stuff that you get with Big Show these days.
It didn't help with the way that they were doing the storyline though. With like, you've lost everything, we own you, blah blah, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
It was just like ridiculous.
But basically, and you've also had the rise of Cody and Goldust as a tag team, becoming the tag champs, taking the titles from Reigns and Rollins. You've had the rise of Big E, who's the Intercontinental Champion, also Curtis Axel, although they're dropping off on him at the moment, but you've had the rise of Curtis Axel, Fandango for a while. Miz, I presume, is still a heel. No one knows half the time anymore with him. But you've also, NXT's been great this year. You've had Sami Zayn, Xavier Woods, Adrian Neville. You've got some really good competition in NXT, as well as some good leavers hopefully to come up soon in Paige and Emma. And you've got Summer Rae's obviously just come up. She's doing alright at the moment. Yeah, it's not been a bad year overall. I think obviously John Cena became champion during the year. And then they had a match with Randy Orton towards the end of the year, the Undisputed. They made the title one, basically Undisputed, and unified, that's the word. I was going blank in the head there. Unified the titles, so now Randy Orton's the only champion in the WWE for now anyway. Also talking about joining US title and Intercontinental title. Yeah, I think that'll come soon.
It's like, how long has it been since Dean Ambrose actually defended that title?
Yeah, Dean Ambrose hasn't defended that
It's
title
like,
never.
I thought the whole clause of if you don't defend it in so many days,
Yeah.
you have to drop it,
Yeah.
but he's something special. So it's like, then they've actually kind of just forgotten the fact that he's actually champion. They just put him in like tag team matches.
And they're basically teasing Reigns walking away from the Shield, because there was this rumour that Reigns is going to leave them and Mason Ryan is going to join them, which I don't see working. It didn't work when he joined this new Nexus. I don't know, I can't see it work. He's not exactly Roman Reigns.
He's not, see Mason Ryan give it another go.
I still think it should
So
be
do I.
someone else from NXT. So the trouble is, there's not many there, but Cassius Ohno would have been ideal for it if he was still with the company. Obviously, you know, that never happened. A lot of people expected him to make it into WWE, but he was released not long ago.
But he'll probably make more money though doing different shows, Ring of Honor and all that lot.
Yeah, in
They're
the
saying
long run,
that
I
AJ,
suppose.
because the whole thing with AJ Styles, they turned and said he will probably make so much more money doing independent stuff because he'll be in such high demand rather than TNA on a fixed contract kind of thing.
Yeah, also you've had the premiere of the Total Divas this year, which I've enjoyed watching. I've missed the last few episodes, but it's been good to watch, but I think they've used it too much on TV.
I'm kind of like,
Instead of concentrating on the actual in-ring work and the ones that can actually wrestle.
Hopefully though, it will be good for the Divas division because they'll create into another audience kind of thing. As much as it's like, oh yeah, we're great, it's going to be good to have the Divas thing, but I think without AJ making a Divas title kind of relevant again, then they would, without Total Divas, I think it's going to get a new lot of audience in. Who'll be like, oh, so this is what they do.
I don't think it's really brought anything new in Divas. It's certainly not got the fans more interested.
No. Well, it's not what I'm saying. It's for a different type of fan.
Obviously,
because you got the casual fans who don't watch it like all the time, and you got like good fan, like the fans that watch it all the time, week in week out, like us. But then if there's like casual fans, they can kind of see what you know what I mean, Total Divas, and they could try and bring it into watching WWE kind of thing.
Obviously, the highlights of the year Divas-wise has been Caitlyn and AJ. There's been no one else. It's really been just them two.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think next year, or this year, sorry, next year.
Yeah.
We're in 2040. I think this year they need to look into the Divas, don't they?
They need to bring in Paige and Emma.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Paige is kind of hinted.
Yeah, she had a little video promo she did.
That she wants to come on, like, to put the Divas and AJ in particular on, like warning that she's kind of like coming kind of thing.
I still want her to be the sister of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
I think she'd be ideal for that. I think she could pull that off. Of course, you had, on the last Raw of the year, you had Daniel Bryan joining the Wyatts. How long that's for is another thing. But some people are saying it could lead into Daniel Bryan fighting Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because apparently he's agreed to fight. He's asked to fight.
Undertaker wants to fight
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, basically.
Apparently.
So
I don't-
if that's the case, where does it leave Brock Lesnar? Where do you
I don't know, maybe Batista.
Yeah, they're talking about that.
Because Undertaker, I don't think wants to fight Lesnar because Lesnar's an animal, and I don't think.
They're kind of worried that.
I don't think Undertaker's
his
body
fighting
can cope
style
with it. Yeah.
And his way that Undertaker's body is, they're not sure how it would.
I don't think Undertaker physically could cope with that sort of a match with Brock Lesnar because Lesnar's an animal in his own right, isn't he? But yeah, we've got looking forward to this year. Obviously, we've got the Royal Rumble coming up. We've got the return of Batista. And if talk briefly about some of the things we'd like to see this year. Do you want to go first, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'd like to see the Divas division a little bit more, more exciting. So if it wasn't for AJ, okay, it would be exciting for him really. So I'd love to see Paige and Emma come up, and maybe another one come up. Also, I'd like to see Sami Zayn come up from NXT.
Yeah.
And a few others, there's a few of them that can sort of come up now. Also, I'd love to see Carly in the book.
Yeah, right up the gearbox, quite literally.
Obviously, I'm looking forward to Batista coming back, so that's going to be awesome. Because you know what he's like. He's a character. He's very, what's the word? When he's like, he doesn't go by the rules, does he? So it'll be interesting to see what he's.
Yeah, you don't take no rubbish, yeah.
Yeah, what he brings to the table.
I still think they should have held that to the Rumble, though. I don't think they should have announced
but
it.
he's coming back as a last run kind of thing, so he's not it's not going to be just for one bit. He's apparently the deal's going after WrestleMania.
I still get the feeling he's going to go for Randy Orton when he comes back.
Yeah, I said that.
Where it would leave Brock Lesnar. I don't know, because they're talking about having CM Punk against Triple H, and then moving on to Batista at SummerSlam, apparently.
Do you know what though? Do you know what I can see? I don't know why, but I can see there being more people fighting for that belt at WrestleMania. You know, not just a singles match. I can see maybe 3 going for it, or maybe 4. You know?
Well, I want to see a 4-way. You know, like we had at WrestleMania 16.
Exactly.
Something like that, elimination style, 1 by 1.
And I can see Batista, Lesnar, Orton, and Cena.
Yeah, because Lesnar's another way. He did say he wants the world title, so
But didn't
yeah.
Triple H say in an interview with Dodie.com saying about how he's about plans for Brock, Big Show, and that something about them, something big happening, like being epic. So maybe they might be thinking about doing like a triple threat or something.
No, what I don't want is Big Show against Brock Lesnar.
Well, they reckon it could be. That could be the way they're going for the Royal Rumble, isn't it?
Well, we're probably
Beforehand,
Lesnar.
calling him out.
No, wasn't there the possibility of Lesnar taking out Big Show
Yeah.
on Raw or something? And
I just hope it's not Mark Henry versus him at WrestleMania.
well, he's injured Mark Henry anyway on Raw.
Yeah, of course.
Battered him.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing where Daniel Bryan goes from here, you know. And also, I'm looking forward to the Shield going their own way also, 'cause I think that's going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to Big E, because I think Big E's got a lot to bring still. And I think he could be a massive breakout star this year.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. I haven't really got much else. So obviously, I'm just looking forward to just great wrestling matches, you know. You know, just where you just watch a match and it's just, you watch it, like, do you remember the technique, everything like that, when you used to have Eddie Guerrero face off against, am I allowed to say it?
Yes, we're not like WE. You can say his name.
Yeah, like, you know, things like that. I'm looking forward to things like that. Actual wrestlers. I don't want to see Carly in that
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to see Rollins play in that ring.
Oh, Brodus Clay, God, yeah.
And Big Show. I don't want to see Big Show in that ring. I want to see wrestlers. Even, I'd even say now, my cousin's probably going to be annoyed with me when I say this, but I think Kane's had it now. I think time for Kane to...
That's probably why he's doing what he's doing, because there's no wrestling involved in it.
Yeah.
But with Brodus Clay, the thing is with him is, if they just made him a monster, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
But they've not, I don't know what they're doing with his heel gimmick. They're making him like a big-headed, like, main event player, but I preferred when he first came, he was just a monster, taking out everyone, just destroying people. That's all you need to do with him, but they're not doing it at the moment, and the matches he's having, he keeps losing to Truth and Xavier, and it's like, if you're going to push him as a heel, at least have him win.
I don't like how they're using Xavier Woods using his music.
Yeah, I said this was going to happen
Stupid.
with Xavier Woods, with Naomi and
because
Cameron. He was going to be doing all this dancing thing. And he doesn't need that because he can wrestle and he's got a good gimmick anyway. I just would prefer that they took him a little bit more serious than what they're doing right
And then
now.
again, when he was
Consequences Creed
yeah,
in
he
TNA.
was like that, dancing and everything else.
Yeah, it was his first person he teamed up with was R-Truth then, wasn't it, as well? Well, what did they call him back then? Watching that old TNA the other day, was it?
Ron Killings, wasn't it?
No, wasn't it at first? Wasn't it K Quick or something silly like
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kane or something.
But yeah, Samantha, what would you like to see this year?
AJ to break the record. I know it's only like 2 weeks away, but you know what WWE's like, anything can happen. Which I would like to see her and Paige have a match at Mania.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
That'd be good.
I'd like them to keep AJ with the title until WrestleMania, and then have someone like Paige take it from her.
And then at some point in the year, we'd like to see Natalya get a title, because I feel like they're kind of not pushing her enough.
They tease it, but I feel like they sometimes torment her by teasing it and not giving it to her. Like they're playing games with her, because she's a Hart member of the Hart family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Seth Rollins with a title, singles
I see title, I think, with Seth
Quite
Rollins.
good. Him and Raymond doing single stuff, because I'm not really that into Dean Ambrose.
Well, I think Roman's going to clean house in the Rumble. I don't think he'll win, but I think he's going to break Kane's record.
I'd love to him to eliminate Ambrose.
I can see him taking both out, you know. Rollins and Ambrose, I think
Yeah,
he's going
because
to
for
take them
some,
out.
I mean, I would rather see Rollins and Reigns be successful
Well-
than Ambrose, because I don't really feel him at all.
No, I think it'd be good at WrestleMania. Shield against each other, triple threat.
That'd be good. And possibly see Shawn Michaels back, because there's been rumours that he might come out of
Yeah.
retirement, but
That was only against
just
Daniel,
be
but it
in
doesn't
like,
look like it.
or
does
just
it?
come back in some way, because it's always good to see him on TV and stuff.
Mm.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously what I'd like to see is the Divas division more focus on that, with the likes of Emma and Paige coming up, and actually give them a bloody match at WrestleMania for once.
No gimmicks.
No stupid gimmicks, no Maria, whatever her blimmin' name is from TV.
Maria Menounos.
Menounos.
Mm.
Someone who's been in the company for a while and deserves to be in a match at WrestleMania. Not any old person comes along and just has their little spotlight like Snooki for 5 seconds. Proper divas that have been there for a long time that actually deserve it, you know. AJ for one, and I think Paige should be as well. That would be a great match. None of this celebrity rubbish. Also, I'd like to see some new people get an opportunity at the world title, not just John and Randy. I'd like to see them start pushing Dolph again, and you know, the likes of all 3 members of the Shield, as well as Big E, and also bring up people like Sami Zayn and a few others from NXT, and get some fresh blood basically in. Yeah,
One to add, bring the Ascension up.
yeah, the Ascension for the tag titles.
Good.
Yeah, they definitely should bring them
And
up. There
Adrian
could be
Neville.
one for, yeah, and Adrian Neville. Better in a tag team, I think. Adrian Neville, maybe someone like Evan Bourne if he ever returns. That guy.
I was going to say, is he actually coming back?
He's teasing being in the Royal Rumble, Evan Bourne. But yeah, I'd just see some new, fresh wrestlers have an opportunity at titles and give someone else a chance instead of depending so much on Cena. Make some risks for once. Not be afraid to try it on people like Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, people like that. Give them a chance. Same with the Divas. You know, might actually get a good reaction. The fans might actually give a damn if you actually show that you care about the blimmin' Divas division in the first place. Hopefully, Layla's been out for quite a while. Hopefully she'll be back soon. I'd like to see Michelle McCall come back one more time, just to team up with Layla would be nice. See Lay Call just for one more match, even if it's just at a WrestleMania. But yeah, hopefully Triple H will push for a Divas match at WrestleMania. It probably won't, but you can only but hope. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this year, as well as getting rid of Hornswoggle and Carly and stop wasting their time with these annoying dancing baboons, basically. Before we finish the show, because we've come up to 28 minutes, just going to talk quickly about highlights of 2013, which obviously for me it was Dolph Ziggler cashing in, being ringside at SummerSlam, meet everyone we met there, as well as at WrestleMania, meeting Undertaker. Yeah, there's many others, but it'll take too long. But they're my main highlights: Dolph Ziggler winning the title, and the fan interactions and so on. Yeah. No, but everyone's different, aren't they? Obviously, the Wyatts have been a big highlight of the year as well. It's been really cool. Any highlights for you for the year?
I've kind of been a bit quiet with wrestling this year. But the only two I can kind of think is, despite being jet lagged, being able to see Undertaker versus The Shield, and then November meeting Titus.
Titus, yeah.
He was so
Good old
nice.
Titus. Titus O'Neil's one of the best people you could wish to meet for in the WWE.
It's quite funny how
It's really nice to hear.
husky his voice is.
Yeah.
You're like, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
But yeah, that's the only two I've really got.
Yeah.
Because it's been next year will be a lot busier for me, but
Hopefully you get to meet Sheamus again next year, because Sheamus is another
Yeah.
one. He'll say hello to anyone, do photos with anyone. He's not one of these
I
where
love
he
Sheamus.
gives you the impression that you're putting him out of his way or anything. He'll always talk
But
to you.
when we
He's
was in
really cool.
Miami, he happily posed for a photo outside
Oh yeah,
the
he
hotel
does.
before
I mean,
going.
he mocked my John Cena shirt when I got back from WrestleMania. I had to get
All I want to be able to do this time around is have a
AJ.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. She's not that easy anymore, but yeah. I thought you was going to say what I want for this year is to win the lottery, like everyone else.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania as well. We're going to
Yeah.
have a good time.
Obviously, all four.
To meet loads of people. I don't know if we're going to get luck and see the Shield.
Well, no, you just
Pray.
you do what you do, innit?
As long as I meet Zeph, I'm happy.
But yeah, basically us three and Karen and a lot of my other friends will be at WrestleMania, which we're definitely looking forward to. Hopefully Ticketmaster won't screw us on access in a couple of weeks, which I'm sure they will.
Please, no, not for me.
And before we go, I just wanted to say a thank you to Justine, who basically sold us her TNA fan interaction tickets, which luckily Samantha noticed it on Twitter because she can't make it. She sold them, and basically we managed to get them from her. So hopefully Samantha will get to meet James Storm. And even though I've heard he's not very nice, I want to meet Bully Ray. And I'm telling you, if I could ever talk to Dixie, I would demand that they put Brooke Adams back on the blimmin' lineup, because I need to meet her badly.
I'm kind of looking forward to hopefully meeting Christopher Daniels as well.
Yeah, Daniels, he's really cool. But yeah, well, no, Sting's not going to be there, so that won't happen. But yeah, that's basically it for this show. We'll be back in 2-3 weeks, just before the Royal Rumble. We'll be talking about that and anything else that comes up. Yeah, well, that's it for this week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
You know,